The space station was dead silent. No lights, no sound, no crew. Only a small girl sat alone in the dark, her eyes wide with fear. Her skin was pale blue, and her arms were thin and bruised. She was not human. She was not from any known species in the Galactic Alliance. Her name was lost. Her past was broken. But her tears were real. She pressed a single button on the control panel. "Help me, please." Her voice echoed into the stars. It was weak, barely a whisper across the void, but it traveled. That signal flew through deep space, past warships, past colonies, past traders and smugglers, and everyone ignored it. The Zarn Confederation said, "It's a trap." The Valari fleet said, "Not our problem." The High Ilari Council said, "Let her die." The girl shivered. Her small fingers clutched a torn blanket. Around her, the walls of the station were scorched and broken. Something terrible had happened here, but she couldn't remember what. She just knew she was alone. Thousands of light years away, a rusted human ship picked up the signal. It was old, slow, and full of scars, but its sensors were sharp. The ship was called the Revenant, a retired war cruiser now used for patrol. Inside, 5 humans sat around a dim table, playing cards. The ship's AI beeped. Distress signal detected. Captain Elias, an older man with a metal arm, leaned forward. Location: abandoned station near the Grax belt. Signal sent 3 times in the last hour. No response. The crew looked at each other. "We're not in the rescue business," said Mason, the weapons officer. "This could be bait." "But what if it's real?" said Tessa, the medic. That signal sounded scared. Elias stared at the screen. He had fought in 2 wars. He had seen monsters in space, but something about this signal felt different. "We're going," he said. The Revenant jumped through hyperspace and arrived near the dark station. Its engines were offline. Its orbit was broken. "Life signs?" Elias asked. "Only one. Faint. Small. Let's suit up." The humans entered the station with flashlights and rifles. The air was thin. Walls were cracked. No bodies. No signs of life. Until they heard it. A soft humming, like a lullaby. In a language they didn't understand. Tessa followed the sound. There she was, the alien girl, curled up on a cold floor, barely breathing. Her eyes blinked at the light. She looked half-starved. "Don't move," Mason warned. But Tessa stepped forward slowly. "It's okay. We're not here to hurt you." The girl's eyes filled with tears. "You came." Back on the ship, they gave her food and water. She ate like she hadn't eaten in days. She didn't speak much, only a few words. "Bad men. They hurt me. They left me." "Who did?" Elias asked gently. She shook her head. Tessa cleaned her wounds. Mason kept his distance. Why would aliens leave a kid behind like that? "Maybe she's not just a kid," Elias said quietly. Later that night, the girl sat alone in the medbay. She stared out the window at the stars. Her body shook. Her mind flashed with images. Fire, screaming, shadows. She remembered voices. People shouting. "Lock her in. She's dangerous. She's the last one." But it was all a blur. Suddenly, alarms blared. "Captain," Mason shouted. "Unidentified ships approaching fast." Elias ran to the bridge. "How many?" 3. No ID. Stealth pattern. They're not here for trade." Elias turned to Tessa. "Hide the girl." Tessa grabbed the girl and ran down the hallway. "They're coming back," the girl whispered. "Who?" "The ones who left me. They know I'm alive." Tessa knelt in front of her. "We'll protect you." "No," the girl said, her voice trembling. "You don't understand. They didn't just abandon me." Tessa frowned. "What then?" The girl looked straight into her eyes. "They left me here, to die." The unknown ships moved closer. They were black, silent, and fast, like hunters in the night. Captain Elias stood on the bridge of the Revenant, staring at the screen. He didn't like surprises. And this felt like an ambush. Still no response, he asked. Mason shook his head. They're not answering hails. Weapons not active yet, but they're close enough to shoot. Tessa's voice came over the comm. The girl says they're not here to help. They're here to finish what they started. Elias clenched his jaw. Then we hold position. No one touches this ship. In the medbay, the alien girl sat on the edge of the bed, watching Tessa carefully. She looked stronger now, cleaned up, fed, and alert. What's your name? Tessa asked softly. The girl was quiet. Then she whispered, Syrah. That's a beautiful name. Syrah looked down. I wasn't supposed to survive. Tessa blinked. What do you mean? My people, they made me different. I didn't ask for it, but they got scared. They tried to erase me. Erase. Syrah nodded. They said I was dangerous, that I could break things with my mind. Tessa was silent. It didn't sound like a child's story. It sounded real. Scary real. Syrah looked at her. But you humans, you didn't run. You helped me. Of course we did, Tessa said. That's what we do. On the bridge, the alien ship stopped just outside firing range. A signal came through. Not audio, not video. Just one line of text. Surrender the girl or be destroyed. Everyone stared at the screen. Mason scoffed. Straight to the point. Elias didn't blink. They're not bluffing. What if we give her up? The engineer asked quietly. We don't even know what she is. Elias turned to him. She's a child. That's all I need to know. Silence. Then Mason grinned. Captain, you're a real soft-hearted cannibal. Elias smirked. Let's show them what carnivorous humans can do. The humans got to work fast. Tessa brought Syrah to a hidden room deep inside the ship. It was shielded, quiet, and safe. You stay here, okay? No matter what happens, don't open the door. Syrah grabbed her hand. You'll die if you fight them. Tessa smiled. We've been dying since we left Earth. Doesn't mean we stop fighting. Syrah blinked. You're not afraid of me. Tessa shook her head. Why would I be? Because the others, they said I had something inside me. Something powerful. Something old. Tessa leaned in. Then maybe that's why they're so afraid of you. Outside, the alien ships began charging weapons. The Revenant didn't wait. Fire flares. Move behind the asteroid field. Elias ordered. Make it look like we're running. The ship dove into space rocks, dodging blasts. The aliens followed, confident and fast. But they didn't know one thing. Humans don't run because they're weak. They run because they're hunting too. Inside the asteroid field, the Revenant flipped its engines and launched mines behind it. The first enemy ship flew too close. Boom. Gone in a flash. Got one. Mason cheered. The second ship fired wildly, hitting a rock and spinning out of control. Only one enemy ship remained, and it was angry. It sent another message. You can't hide her forever. Elias narrowed his eyes. We won't need to. In the hidden room, Syrah sat alone. She closed her eyes. Something inside her began to glow, soft and gold. She saw visions of the aliens, of their council, of herself. She wasn't just born different. She was created, built to unlock ancient tech. Living code, a weapon disguised as a child. Syrah touched the wall. The metal vibrated under her hand. She heard the ship whisper back to her. Hello, Syrah, the AI said. Her eyes glowed. Back on the bridge, alarms went off again. What now? Mason said. The ship, it's changing. The engineer whispered. Systems were coming online that hadn't worked in years. Guns recharge. Shields boosted. Engines roared. The AI spoke. New user detected. Command accepted. Defense mode activated. Elias looked at the screen, confused. What user? Then he saw it. Syra. The last alien ship tried to flee, but the Revenant, now upgraded and powered, chased it down. Laser blasts ripped through the dark. The alien ship exploded into burning pieces. Silence. The crew cheered. Tessa ran to the hidden room. Syra stood calmly, eyes no longer glowing. "You saved us," Tessa said, stunned. "No," Syra said quietly. "You saved me first." Later, as the crew gathered, Elias looked at everyone. "We had a choice," he said, "and we made a pact to protect what others throw away." Mason raised a glass. "To the little alien girl with a big secret." Syra smiled. But deep inside, she knew this was only the beginning. They would come again. And next time, they'd bring an army. The wreckage of the enemy ships floated in the void. Fire burned silently in space. Broken metal drifted like dead bones. But Captain Elias knew it wasn't over. He stood on the bridge of the Revenant, arms crossed, eyes on the scanner. "How many more do you think are out there?" Mason asked. "Too many," Elias replied. "And now they know we have her." In the medbay, Syra sat with Tessa, drinking warm soup. She looked better, stronger, but her eyes were still full of worry. "They won't stop," she said. "Who are they?" Tessa asked gently. "They're not just soldiers," Syra whispered. "They're called the HFY, mind hunters, built to find me, built to destroy me." "Why?" Syra looked up. "Because I remember things I'm not supposed to know." Hours later, the Revenant received a new signal. It was encrypted. Human code. Military grade. Elias frowned. "Play it." A hologram appeared. A human woman in uniform. "Captain Elias, this is Admiral Varn of Earth Command. We picked up your battle logs. You've made contact with a Class A asset. Protect her at all costs. Reinforcements are days away. Until then, you're on your own. And Captain, trust no one." The message ended. Mason raised his eyebrows. A Class A asset. That's what they're calling the girl. Tessa stepped in. "She has a name." "Syra." Elias nodded slowly. "She's more than just a girl. She's a target, and maybe a key." As night cycle came, the Revenant floated quietly near a dead moon. But inside Syra's mind, the storm had begun. She sat alone, her eyes closed, her thoughts spinning. Suddenly, she felt them. Dark minds. Cold, sharp, and full of hunger. The HFY. They weren't just coming. They were already inside. Syra gasped and fell from her bed. The lights flickered. Somewhere deep in the ship, alarms screamed. Tessa rushed in. "Syra, what's wrong?" "They're here," Syra whispered, trembling. "I can feel them, crawling in my head." On the bridge, the screens flashed. "System interference detected. AI functions unstable. External psychic intrusion detected." Elias shouted, "Seal the ship. Full lockdown." Mason read the scanner. "I don't see anything out there." "They're not out there," Elias growled. "They're in." Down in the engine room, the crew found one of their own, Technician Kilo, on the floor, shaking violently. His eyes were rolled back. Blood dripped from his nose. He mumbled something again and again. "They're watching. They're watching. They see her." Elias knelt beside him. "Shut him down. They're using him like a camera." Tessa injected Kalo with a neuroblocker. His body went limp. The psychic link broke. Back in the medbay, Syra cried softly. "This is what they do. They send their minds first. They find the weak ones. And then—" She looked up, eyes full of fear. "Then they send the hunters." Hours later, the scanner beeped. Mason checked it. His face turned pale. 4 ships, bigger than before. Coming in fast. No IDs. Stealth armor. No hails. Syrah stood at the bridge doorway. It's them. The crew went silent. Elias didn't hesitate. Everyone to battle stations. Tessa looked at Syrah. Are you sure you're ready? Syrah nodded. I have to be. I don't want more people to die because of me. The enemy ships didn't waste time. They launched drones, fast, sharp, almost invisible, like shadows. The Revenant fired back, but the drones moved too fast. They're targeting the engines, the engineer shouted. One drone got through. It landed on the hull and started cutting in. They're boarding. Mason yelled. Seal the inner corridors. Elias ordered. But it was too late. One of them got inside. The hunter was tall, thin, with gray skin and long arms. Its eyes were pitch black. No mouth, no voice. But everyone heard it. A voice inside their minds. Give us the key, or die slowly. Syrah stepped forward. The hunter turned its head toward her. Elias raised his gun. Get away from her. He shot once, twice, but the bullets stopped in the air, frozen by the hunter's mind. Then the hunter moved. Fast. Too fast. Suddenly, Syrah's eyes flashed gold. She raised her hand, and the lights around her pulsed. The ship's systems came alive again. The AI voice returned. Command override confirmed. Energy pulse initiated. A blast of golden energy shot from the walls, hitting the hunter full force. It screamed without sound and vanished in a burst of ash. Silence. Then breathing. Heavy. Shaky. Elias lowered his weapon. Remind me never to scare you. After the attack, the crew regrouped. 3 enemy ships remained outside, but they didn't move. They're waiting. Syrah said, for something bigger. Tessa asked, how many more are coming? Syrah closed her eyes. She saw it, a massive ship in the darkness, 10 times the size of theirs, full of hunters. One more ship, she whispered. The crew sat in silence. Syrah's words hung in the air like a storm cloud. One ship, thousands on board, not just hunters now. Something worse is coming. Captain Elias looked around the bridge. How long until it gets here? Mason checked the scanner. 2 days, maybe less. Then we need answers, Elias said. No more hiding. Syrah, we need to know what you really are. In the medbay, the lights were dim. Syrah sat on the bed while the crew gathered around. I was born in a lab, she began softly. Not like other children. My people, called the Zaveri, used ancient tech to build something new. A mind that could hold knowledge from before the wars. A living archive. Tessa leaned forward. Why would they do that? Because they were afraid. They found ruins on a dead world. Ruins that spoke of something coming. Something that eats stars. Syrah looked down. So they made me. Not to fight it, but to remember it. Mason scratched his head. You're telling me they put dangerous, forgotten knowledge inside a kid. Syrah nodded, but they didn't expect my mind to grow. I started unlocking things, secrets even they didn't understand. Then they got scared. They said I was a risk. So they ran, left me on that station. Captain Elias paced the room. And now the Jorkai want you because of what's in your head. No, Syrah said quietly. They want me because of what I can do. Later that day, Tessa ran a scan on Syrah's brain. What she saw didn't make sense. Syrah's neural network is evolving. Faster than anything I've ever seen, she said. It's like her brain is a living machine. She's not a weapon, Elias said. She's a map. To what? Mason asked. To something lost, Syrah answered. But I don't know what yet. I only see pieces. Elias looked at her. Can we help you unlock them? Syrah paused. Then she nodded. There's a way, but it's dangerous. They took her to the AI core, a glowing chamber deep in the ship's heart. I can connect with your eye, Sira said. It will help me see deeper. But if I go too far, I might not come back. Elias put a hand on her shoulder. You're not alone. We've got you. Sira smiled. Then she stepped into the circle. Golden light surrounded her. Her eyes closed. And then she remembered. Flashes, explosions, cities burning, stars going dark. She saw a fleet, ships made of bone and fire, swallowing worlds. Voices screamed in 100 languages. The swarm has returned. She saw her creators, arguing, hiding, sacrificing one another to keep her secret. And then she saw something else. A map, a path, a place forgotten by all. The Vault of Echoes. There, a weapon slept, not one of war, but one of truth, a signal strong enough to break the minds of the Shorkai. Sira's voice echoed in the AI chamber. I know where to go. I know how to stop them. But something else followed her out of the memory. Darkness. It crept into the ship. It whispered through the vents. The lights dimmed. The walls groaned. The AI flickered. Captain, the AI said, voice shaking. We are no longer alone. Elias ran to the bridge. What now? Mason checked the radar. It's not the big ship. This is something inside. Tessa turned to Sira. Did you bring something back with you? Sira nodded, frightened. One of them. A mind leech. A hunter of thoughts. The creature took over Kalo again, the technician who'd earlier been attacked. This time, he didn't shake or scream. He stood up calmly. His eyes were black. He smiled. You cannot run. You cannot win. She belongs to us. Tessa pointed a blaster. Let him go. But the thing inside him only laughed. Elias stepped in behind him. Last chance. The creature turned. Elias fired. Kalo collapsed, the parasite gone. But it had left behind a message. We are already in the stars. The vault won't save you. It will only show you the end. After they burned Kalo's body, the ship was quiet again. Too quiet. Elias stood in the war room, looking at the map Sira had drawn. The Vault of Echoes, he said. Where is it? Sira pointed to a dark zone in the galaxy. There. No ships go there. It's like a graveyard. Dead systems. No light. Perfect place to hide a truth, Mason muttered. Can we get there before the main Jorke ship? Tessa asked. Sira nodded. If we leave now. Elias looked at the stars outside. Then we go. But we're not just running. He turned to his crew. We're going to unlock the past, and we're going to hit them where it hurts. The Revenant moved through the dark part of space like a ghost. No stars, no planets, just silence. The crew was tense. No one spoke much. Even Mason, who always made jokes, stayed quiet. Everyone felt it. This place was wrong. Sira stood at the front window, staring into the dark. Her golden eyes glowed faintly. This is where the stars died, she said. Tessa stepped beside her. What do you mean? Sira whispered. Something powerful was buried here. It made everything around it vanish. The Vault of Echoes was hidden in a broken moon, its surface cracked and lifeless. The Revenant hovered close, searching for a safe place to land. There, Sira pointed. That ridge. There's a door underneath. How do you know? Elias asked. I don't, Sira replied. But my mind does. The ship touched down. The moment they stepped onto the moon's surface, everyone heard it. A faint sound, like voices in the wind. But there was no wind. Only whispers in the airless dark. Inside the vault, the walls were black stone, covered in symbols. Lights blinked without power. The air was thick and cold, even in their suits. Elias led the way, weapon ready. Tessa and Mason followed close behind. Sira walked last, eyes wide, remembering with every step. This place was built by the first ones, she said. They were here before us all, before the stars were young. What happened to them? Mason asked. Sarah didn't answer. They reached a large chamber. In the center, a glowing sphere hovered in the air. It pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. That's it, Sarah whispered. That's the signal. Suddenly, the sphere lit up. The walls shook. A voice filled the chamber, not with sound, but inside their minds. Who awakens the truth? Sarah stepped forward. I am Sarah. I carry the memory of the Zavari. I seek what was lost. The voice paused. Then you shall see. But truth has a price. A flash of light surrounded them, and they saw. Flashes of war, not the war of today, but ancient battles. The first ones fighting a black swarm that ate light, minds, and worlds. They had no name, only hunger. The first ones made the vault as a warning, a signal, a psychic key to lock the swarm out of the galaxy. But someone broke the lock. And the swarm returned, reborn as the Jorkai. Sarah fell to her knees. Blood dripped from her nose. Tessa caught her. Sarah, are you okay? Sarah nodded weakly. It's too much. But I saw it. I know how to stop them. Elias stepped forward. Tell us. The signal, she said, breathing hard. It's not just a message. It's a weapon. If we boost it using the Revenant's core, we can send a wave strong enough to shatter their minds. Like a psychic bomb? Mason asked. Sarah nodded. But we only get one shot. And we have to be close. How close? Elias asked. Inside their ship, back on the Revenant, they began preparing. Sarah uploaded the vault signal into the ship's eye. The engine core pulsed with strange energy. The lights flickered as the signal spread through the systems. Tessa monitored Sarah's vitals. She's still bleeding. Her body's under stress. She'll be fine, Elias said firmly. We all will. But he wasn't sure. Soon, the Jorkai mothership appeared on the scanners. It was massive, like a floating mountain of bone and metal. Thousands of life signs inside. It's here, Mason said. Right on time. Good, Elias said. Let's end this. The Revenant jumped into stealth mode and flew straight toward the mothership. Inside the crew cabin, Sarah sat quietly. She held her head, eyes closed. They can feel me, she said. They know we're coming. Then let's give them something to fear, Elias said. They dodged defenses, slipped past outer patrols, and reached the heart of the ship, the reactor chamber. Sarah stood. I have to go inside alone, she said. They won't let humans pass through the mind gate. We're not letting you go alone, Tessa said. You don't have a choice, Sarah replied softly. This is what I was made for. Elias looked at her, not as a weapon, not as an alien, but as a girl who never asked for any of this. You come back, he said. Sarah smiled. I'll try. She walked into the light. Inside the mothership's core, everything changed. She was no longer in space. She stood in a world of fire and memory. The Jorkai surrounded her. Hundreds. Thousands. They reached out. Give us the signal. Give us your mind. Sarah closed her eyes and released it. The vault's energy exploded through her body. The ship shook. The Jorkai screamed, not in sound, but in thought. The psychic blast shattered their minds like glass. Their link broke. Their power vanished. Their ship, once alive, went silent. On the Revenant, the crew saw the explosion of light. Then, silence. No attacks. No signal. Just silence. Sarah, Tessa called through the comms. No answer. Elias gripped the controls. Get her back. Now. They flew into the broken mothership. Through the wreckage, they found her. Sarah floated gently, her eyes closed. Alive. Barely. Back on the ship, Tessa stabilized her. She did it, Mason said. No, Elias said. She survived it. Outside, The Zorkai fleet was breaking apart. Some turned on each other. Others drifted, lost without their hive. The war wasn't over. But the tide had turned. The Revenant drifted silently through space. Around them, the battlefield was quiet. The Zorkai mothership was dead, its glowing eyes now dark holes. The rest of the alien fleet had scattered, leaderless and broken. But victory did not feel like joy. Inside the ship's medbay, Syrah lay unconscious. Tessa sat beside her, checking the monitors. Her vitals are stable, but she's not waking up. Elias stood near the door, arms crossed. She pushed too far. She saved us, Mason said, entering with 2 mugs of cold synth coffee. Without her, we'd be dust. And now she might be dying because of it, Elias muttered. Syrah's mind floated in darkness. Not pain, not peace, just a strange emptiness. Then, whispers. Familiar voices. Her creators. The Zavari. Fragments of memory. You were made to remember. You were made to end what we feared. But you are more now. She opened her eyes. She was awake. Back in the medbay, Syrah gasped for air. Her body jerked. Tessa rushed over, smiling in shock. Syrah, you're awake. Elias came in instantly. Easy, kid. You've been out for a day. Syrah blinked. Is it over? No, Elias said, but you gave us a chance. The swarm is broken. The Zorkai are in chaos. Syrah nodded weakly. Then we have to finish it. Finish what? Mason asked. Their core, Syrah whispered. They still have it. A living world. The true heart of the swarm. As long as it exists, they'll return. Elias frowned. Where is it? Syrah looked up, her golden eyes glowing faintly. Earth. Everyone went silent. Tessa was the first to speak. That's impossible. Earth was untouched during the last invasion. Not untouched, Syrah said. Hidden. The swarm buried something deep in Earth's mantle a long time ago, before humans even evolved. Mason scratched his head. Let me get this straight. Earth has been sitting on top of the Zorkai's master brain this whole time. Syrah nodded. They used it as a relay, a backup. And now that their fleet is weak, they'll call to it. They'll come for Earth, Elias said darkly. No, Syrah replied. They're already on Earth. The crew stared at each other, stunned. They're hiding, Tessa asked. Among humans? No, Syrah said. They don't need bodies. They need thoughts. They sleep in signals, in machines, in dreams, waiting. Elias walked to the ship's main terminal. We have to warn them. Syrah shook her head. You can't. If you send a message, the hidden swarm will know. They'll wake early. Then what do we do? Mason asked. We go there, Syrah said. We go to Earth. Quietly. We find the core. And we destroy it. Tessa looked uncertain. What if we fail? Syrah met her eyes. Then Earth won't burn. It will forget. Every human mind. Erased. The decision was made. The Revenant changed course. Home. As the ship neared Earth, the crew saw the familiar blue planet hanging in space. Peaceful. Beautiful. But now, terrifying. Elias called the crew into the war room. Mission is simple, he said. Syrah will guide us to the swarm's core. We'll go in, plant a pulse bomb, and get out. That's not simple, Mason said. That's suicide. Elias smirked. That's why we're the ones doing it. Tessa nodded. We go quiet. No signals. No news. We can't risk tipping off the swarm. And if they find us? Mason asked. Elias loaded his weapon. Then we go loud. They landed in a remote mountain range in Central Asia, where Syrah said the signal was strongest. No cities. No satellites. Just stone and snow. As they stepped out, the silence felt wrong. Too quiet. No birds, no wind, only the sound of snow crunching under their boots. Sira led them to a narrow cave entrance. "This is it," she said. "It goes deep." "How deep?" Mason asked. "Past memory, past time." They entered. The deeper they went, the stranger it became. The walls began to hum. Symbols glowed on the rock, just like in the Vault of Echoes. Tessa touched one. It pulsed under her fingers. "These aren't human," she said. "They're not even Zaveri," Sura replied. "They're older." Elias raised his blaster. "Keep moving." Hours passed. At last, they reached a vast underground chamber. In the center, a living structure. Pulsing, breathing. A brain the size of a city. The core. Mason dropped his gear. "So, how do we kill it?" Sira stepped forward. "It's not just alive. It's dreaming. Feeding off human thoughts. We can't just blow it up. We have to make it forget." Tessa blinked. "You mean, erase its mind?" "Yes," Sira said. "With this." She pulled out a small glowing device. "The vault signal. I shaped it into a memory bomb. If I connect it to the core, it will destroy everything the swarm knows." Elias looked at her. "And what will it do to you?" Sira paused. "I don't know." The team stared at the core. Then Elias nodded. "Let's end it." The core pulsed like a heart made of nightmares. It floated above the ground, connected by veins of living crystal. Inside it were memories of war, of destruction, of every mind the Zhor-Kai had ever consumed. The Revenant team stood at the edge of the underground chamber. No alarms, no guards. Only the low hum of something ancient and evil, dreaming. Sira held the memory bomb in her hands. It glowed softly, calm, but deadly. "This is it," she whispered. "One touch, and their mind unravels." Elias stepped forward. "Can you get close without waking it?" "No," she said quietly. "It's already aware of me." Suddenly, the air trembled. A voice filled the chamber. "You are not Zaveri. You are not human. You are ours." Sira fell to her knees, clutching her head. "Return to the swarm. Let go." Elias grabbed her arm. "Sira, fight it." Tessa pulled out a neural blocker and pressed it to Sira's neck. The hum in the air slowed. The pressure faded. Sira gasped. "It's trying to take me back, into the hive mind." "But it didn't," Mason said, "because you're not theirs anymore." Sira looked up at them. "Then let's finish this." They moved across the chamber, weaving through thick cables and twitching nerves. The closer they got to the core, the heavier the air became. Whispers filled their minds. Regrets, fears, dreams that weren't theirs. Tessa trembled. "It's copying my thoughts." "Don't let it in," Elias barked. "Keep moving." But then, figures appeared. From the shadows, human shapes, but wrong. Eyes too wide, skin too smooth, smiles too perfect. The swarm had made copies of them. Mason raised his rifle. Creepy freaks ahead. They opened fire. The copies bled light and screamed without mouths. Sira rushed toward the core while the others fought behind her. She reached it. The surface of the brain rippled like water. It sensed her. "You were made by fear. You are fear." "No," she whispered. "I am the end of fear." She pressed the memory bomb into the core. The light exploded. For a moment, time stopped. Sira was no longer in the chamber. She stood in a dream. An endless field of stars. And in the center, the first ones. Not people, not machines, but shapes of thought, energy, memory. They spoke without sound. "You have chosen. You are no longer a weapon. You are a bridge." Sira didn't understand. "What happens now?" The stars blinked. "You give what they took. You break what they built. But you do not return." Sira's heart froze. "I can't go back. To destroy their dream, You must stay in it. She thought of Elias, of Tessa, of the Revenant, of Earth. Then she smiled. I understand. In the chamber, the core cracked open. Screams echoed through the walls, then stopped. Every cable, every nerve, every whisper went silent. The core collapsed into dust. The copies vanished, and Syrah was gone. Elias ran to the spot. Syrah, no answer, only a faint warmth where she had stood. Tessa dropped to her knees. She gave everything. Mason lowered his weapon. She saved Earth. Elias nodded, jaw tight. She saved us all. They left the chamber in silence. Outside, the sky was blue. The birds had returned. The world had no idea how close it had come to being forgotten. Weeks later, the Revenant flew quietly across Earth's upper orbit. The war was over. The Jorquet were gone. What few creatures remained were confused and powerless. Earth was safe. But the crew was not celebrating. In the war room, a small golden light blinked on the console. A voice message. Elias pressed play. Syrah's voice filled the room. If you're hearing this, it means I made it. Not back home, not to your world, but somewhere else, a place between memory and time. The swarm's dream is broken, but I had to take its place. It's okay. I'm not alone here. I can see everything, every human, every thought, every dream, and I'll watch over them all. Thank you for giving me something real to fight for. Goodbye. The crew sat in silence. Then Mason smiled. She's not really gone, is she? Tessa shook her head. She's part of us now. Elias looked out the window at the stars. No, he said. She's out there, making sure no one ever forgets what she did.